Niners Nation, take a deep breath because tonight's show is loaded with tension, relief, and pure adrenaline. There's one absence that changes the entire playbook, one long-awaited comeback that could light up Levi's Stadium, and a rumor that might quietly reshape the pass rush. The mood in Santa Clara is half nerves, half electricity, and you can feel it from the first whistle of practice to the final walkthrough. You won't believe what's coming, so do yourself a favor. Grab a seat, hit that like button, and let's dive in. Every week in San Francisco feels like a movie with a new plot twist. Injuries, comebacks, rumors, it's never quiet around this team. The goal right now is survival. Patch up, stay disciplined, and fight through the adversity that has become the Niners' constant companion. Beating the Atlanta Falcons won't just take skill, it'll take heart and brains. And that starts with one massive decision. Brock Purdy will not play. Some fans sighed, others panicked, but Kyle Shanahan's call makes sense. The coaching staff is finally putting health above hurry. Purdy practiced in a limited role this week, throwing more, moving better, but he's still not ready. Shanahan said it best. He's further ahead than last week, and that's what we want. Steady steps. No shortcuts, no rushing. The 49ers tried that before and paid the price. The memory of sending Purdy back too soon still lingers. Now they're protecting the investment, protecting the season. In his place, Mac Jones steps back into the spotlight. 5 games in, he's stopped being the temporary fix and started becoming the stabilizer. Calm, accurate, and quietly confident, Jones has shown the kind of poise that earns locker room trust. He doesn't try to be flashy, he just keeps the offense on schedule, and for Shanahan's system, that's gold. Every completion, every third down conversion builds a sense that maybe, just maybe, the Niners found a way to stay afloat through chaos. But of course, no week in Santa Clara is complete without another name added to the injury list. Ricky Pearsall, the rookie receiver who was turning heads with his precise routes and fearless yards after the catch, remains out with a PCL injury. It's frustrating, sure, but the team is right to be careful. Shanahan even pointed to how the Raiders mismanaged Brock Bowers' knee, rushing him back too soon. The message is clear. The Niners are playing the long game. Pearsall isn't just another rookie, he's part of the future. Risking that for one Sunday would be senseless. And then there's Yetur Gross-Matos. The defensive end has been ruled out again, knee and hamstring problems. His snap count might look small on paper, but his impact is real. He gives them about 16 plays of burst, leverage, and effort every week. Without him, the rotation gets thinner, and that means fatigue becomes a factor late in games. Defensive coordinator Steve Wilks will have to reshuffle, mixing blitz looks and trusting younger bodies to step up. Still, even through all these setbacks, there's a sense of direction. Shanahan spoke about Purdy's recovery with calm confidence. The team's learned patience, and that mindset, discipline over desperation, is what separates contenders from the rest. But buckle up, because the next headline isn't about rehab or rest, it's about opportunity, and it starts in Tennessee. The Titans are crumbling, sitting at 1-5, their season in free fall. Head coach Brian Callahan is gone, and the front office has switched to full rebuild mode. Suddenly, every veteran on an expiring contract looks like trade bait. And right there, one name has jumped onto the radar in San Francisco: Arden Key. Now, Key's not the kind of player who dominates ESPN highlight reels, but he's the kind that wins in January. A grinder, a technician, a relentless edge presence who does the dirty work. He's 29 in a contract year and won't cost much more than a late-round pick. Exactly the kind of under-the-radar addition that the 49ers have made their trademark. Losing Nick Bosa for the year ripped a hole through the defense's identity. With Trey Hendrickson off-limits in Cincinnati and no elite pass rusher truly available, Arden Key suddenly looks like one of the few realistic moves. He's not flashy, but he sets the edge, pressures consistently, and, most importantly, he fits the culture. Shanahan and Wilks love players who bring controlled aggression and team-first energy. Reports around the league say the Niners have already made preliminary calls. Nothing official, but the pattern is there. When you see this front office doing homework on a player's price tag, it's rarely random. A 6th-round pick? That's low risk, high reward. The Titans want draft capital, and the Niners need stability. It makes sense on every level. Fans are buzzing. Some say swing bigger. Others argue that depth wins championships. And honestly, both sides are right, but history favors the latter. The 49ers don't chase names, they chase fits. Arden Key feels like a fit. He's played for the Chiefs, Jaguars, Titans. He knows how to adapt. He's faced Shanahan's offense before, knows what kind of intensity the 49ers demand, and could slide right into that rotation with zero ego. Maybe it's smoke, maybe it's the spark before the fire. But in a season where every snap counts, even whispers can turn into headlines overnight. And speaking of headlines, the one that truly matters comes from Levi's practice field. The comeback everyone's been waiting for is finally here. George Kittle is back. After 5 long weeks on injured reserve nursing a torn hamstring, the all-pro tight end returned to practice this week with his usual swagger. Shanahan called him ready to roll, and the locker room lit up. Kittle isn't just another player, he's the emotional backbone of this roster. When he's on the field, the offense has rhythm, confidence, and attitude. His presence alone changes how defenses line up. With Kittle back, the offensive playbook expands instantly. The run game regains its seal blocks, the play action gets teeth again, and Mac Jones suddenly has a trusted safety valve across the middle. It's not an exaggeration to say that Kittle's return could redefine the offensive balance. There's more help coming too. Defensive tackle Kevin Givens, out since preseason with a torn pectoral, is set to make his season debut. He brings size, leverage, and a tone-setting attitude that the front seven badly needs. He's most likely playing, Shanahan said, smiling. A small but telling moment for a coach who doesn't waste words. Still, injuries continue to test depth. Cornerbacks Upton Stout and Renardo Green both appeared on the late week report. Stout tweaked his ankle on the final play of Thursday's practice. Green's been limited with a neck issue since week 5. The timing couldn't be worse, but such is life for the 2025 49ers. Every position has been stress tested, and yet the team remains standing. Through it all, Shanahan keeps finding ways to reinvent this group. He's coaching like a man sculpting chaos into control. His roster moves, his patience with Purdy, his trust in Jones, it all speaks to a bigger philosophy. You win not by avoiding storms, but by learning how to steer through them. And now, as the lights prepare to shine on Sunday Night Football, one man holds the pen to the next chapter, Mac Jones. 5 starts, 3 wins, countless doubters. Jones has embraced the role with quiet determination. Against the Falcons, he'll face another test of leadership. The offense around him is a patchwork quilt of bruises and tape, but he's made it work. What's impressed most isn't his arm, it's his composure. He's taken hits, stood tall, and kept delivering. The return of Kittle gives him the veteran lifeline he's been missing. And his connection with Kendrick Bourne, it's sizzling. Back-to-back 142-yard games tell the story of 2 players perfectly in sync. With Juwan Jennings fighting through multiple injuries and Pearsall sidelined, Bourne has become the steady hand. That chemistry might be the key to staying alive in the NFC West race. Defensively, the unit continues to patch itself together. No Bosa, no Warner, no Gross Matos, but still, the standard doesn't drop. Kevin Givens returning helps the run defense immensely, giving Wilkes more flexibility with his interior rotations. Young edge rushers are being tested by fire, and every rep adds grit to this group. There's a mood shift happening inside Levi's Stadium. Players have started to embrace the us against the world mentality. With Purdy cheering from the sideline, the locker room feels united around Jones. They're rallying around adversity rather than shrinking from it. You can sense it in the way veterans speak during media sessions. Words like belief, fight, and identity come up again and again, and that's the secret weapon of this franchise. The 49ers might be battered, but they're never broken. Each absence becomes fuel, each challenge becomes proof of resilience. As the Falcons prepare to enter a roaring Levi's, Mac Jones knows what's at stake. A win here would make it 4 and 5 starts and keep San Francisco squarely in the NFC playoff race. It would also silence the whispers that this offense can't function without Purdy, because if Jones keeps this run alive, the entire league will have to take notice. By the end of this grueling stretch, one truth remains unshaken. The 49ers' heartbeat hasn't skipped once. Even with star players sidelined, this team refuses to fold. George Kittle's comeback injects belief. Kevin Givens' return adds strength. Arden Key's rumor adds intrigue. And Mac Jones' emergence adds something that can't be coached: momentum. Sunday night won't just be a game, it'll be a statement. It's about proving that identity goes deeper than names on a roster. It's about resilience, chemistry, and a fan base that never stops believing. So, Niners Nation, here's the real question. How far can this version of San Francisco go? Are you ready to see a team that's bruised but unbroken? Underdogs that refuse to act like it? Drop your predictions in the comments, light up that like button, and make sure you're subscribed, because this story isn't close to over. The 49ers are still standing, still swinging, and still believing. Faith in San Francisco, it never rests.